Did you ever wonder why narcissists resurface around old dates or special holidays? And it brings up this like wave of emotion, it brings up a wave of confusion. You're like, whoa, why did you have to come up now? Like, I haven't spoken to you in a year, I haven't spoken to you in 2 years. Why would you even bring this up now? Why would you even enter back in? I want to talk to you today about how narcissists use special dates and holidays and things to be able to hoover you back in, to be able to suck you back into the toxic relationship. I want you to be able to see like how they actually try to control and manipulate by using this piece of your empathy, of your sympathy, and of connectedness around holidays, special dates, and times. And I want you to understand how you can recognize just different patterns of this and see different nuances of why this is happening and what they're trying to accomplish in this. To be able to gain insights of like, this is what they do, this is what happens, and understand the tactics so you can be able to avoid it. The whole aspect is trying to have you break free from narcissistic abuse, to be able to learn and understand and see the process for you to be able to be free ultimately. And that's where you are able to reclaim your power, become the person you're called to be, and step into that new awareness more than what you've ever seen before. The hard part is as you start to get free, toxic people will try to pull you back. They'll try to hoover you or suck you back into the toxic relationship. One of the most common ways to do that is through special moments. Now, the special moments might just be holidays or they might be special dates. But the idea is like, let's figure out how we can recycle you back into the fold of being a supply, of being a person that I get a reaction or a response out of being a person that I get a certain piece from that I want in that moment. Now, that piece might be mental, emotional, sexual validation, or it just might be creating a response, creating a reaction to be able to see, oh, I'm still in control, or this person still thinks of me, or still cares about me. All of it can get skewed in the mind of a narcissist, but the whole goal is I need to get a reaction, a response from this person. So we move into the cycle of deception of narcissists use familiar dates and holidays to re-enter. It's like a doorway to get back into your life. And it just keeps this cycle going of control and manipulation, making you feel like, wait a second, I thought we were done with this. But moving into the piece of those dates and those times. You have to understand narcissists are really skilled at sensing vulnerable moments. Sometimes people even talk about like this like sixth sense of like, how does he know? Like, how did he know to come back in? Sometimes narcissists just know because they know you. They know you more than what you think, but they're not willing to actually engage with you in a healthy way. It's more or less like, let me know you and study you to manipulate you into doing the things that I want you to do. So a narcissist might be with you for a period of time and understand the cycle of, okay, it's been X amount of time, X amount of months. Now you're starting to feel a little bit better and they come back into your life. And you're like, how did he even know? A lot of times it's sensing the vulnerabilities, the pieces, the cycles that they've seen over and over. I had this in my life where I could tell what type of music the person was listening to know what state of mood they were in because I knew them so well. But did that connect as far as like being able to engage in a positive relationship? No. It was used more as a manipulation tool to be able to see, okay, this is what I need to do or what I don't need to do to get the responses that I want. Narcissists are looking for exploitation, like exploiting you for what they want in the moment. Okay, by choosing different aspects like dates with emotional significance, such as an anniversary or a holiday, the whole goal is triggering memories, triggering different emotions. This is the whole aspect is like if the narcissist can trigger an emotion in you, it will make you less overt against them. Okay, so like there's an anniversary. And that anniversary had good memories as far as there was like a connected time. It felt loving. It felt good. The narcissist would be like, do you remember that time when we did this? Like, wasn't that amazing? And it puts this like little like warmth in your heart. And you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to lock in the good times. Trying to lock the good times in. If you can lock in the good times with a piece of emotion, it starts to become more prevalent than the bad times. It starts to become like more prevalent of like those were good times versus the yelling in the car afterwards, versus the upsetness, versus the belittling afterwards. And you start to lock yourself onto the good times and start to ignore the bad. Our minds and our bodies and our brains want to do this all the time, of trying to avoid the traumatic things that have happened, of trying to justify and say like, oh, it's okay, it's not that big of a deal. But narcissists will do this with the dates, with the emotions, with things with significance, trying to trigger memories and emotions, making you more susceptible to the advances, to them coming back in or pulling you back into their life. So think of it this way. Maybe you've got to the place where you've started to distance yourself. Like you have got to the place where you're almost no contact. You're far enough away. You're like, hey, this is working out better. I'm managing it right now. It's okay. And you've gotten past the breakup. You've gotten past some of the separation piece. Maybe you've like dealt with some of the kid piece, whatever it might be. And you've gotten to the place where you're like, okay, there's a distance. But an anniversary comes up, birthday comes up, and he sends a message. And it starts to tug at you. Like it starts to tug at your heart and be like, maybe he's changed. Maybe something's different. And you start down that road. The hard part is, unless you've been working on yourself, you might fall back into the same abusive, manipulative relationship because that person hasn't changed and they were just using that as a way to be able to trigger you. You're going to see this a lot of times when it centers around these dates and when it centers around these times. People are like, why do narcissists hoover so much around the holidays? And I'm like, it's because they know you're going to respond. Like, when's the last time someone said Merry Christmas to you and you were like, yeah, screw you? No, you probably said it back. So even if the person is toxic, you probably said it back because that's the nice thing to do. Narcissists will use dates and times and emotions and all these different pieces to manipulate you. And part of it is using these sentimental triggers to be able to put you back in an emotional state. Leveraging old dates to bring about these feelings, these sentimental ideas of like, let me get control back over your emotions. Let me connect with you on certain aspects. So like I said, like holidays, special occasions, presenting themselves as being like, I'm really sorry. I'm really changed. I really want to see you. I really miss the dogs. I really want to interact with the kids. Like you wouldn't keep them away from me, right? Like, why would you do this? Like, this is me. I'm really changing all this stuff. But it only happens around the holidays. Only happens around the holidays because that's what they need for their image. That's what they need to look good to certain people or certain aspects or to feel better about themselves. But not because there's full out change. Not because there's been a transformation or a work that has happened in their life, because otherwise they could have contacted you the 3 months before. But instead it comes around these holidays. It comes around these special emotionally charged moments where it's going to make you triggered to feel like you need to do something, like you need to give them that grace, like you need to give them that response. So why not just put a pause on it? Be like, hey, I appreciate the apology. Let's connect after the holidays. See what happens then. Oh no, but I need you now, but I need this, but all this. And all of a sudden it becomes abusive and you start to be like, yeah, I thought so. Because when you're able to call it out and even postpone it and slow it down and push it back to be able to see how is this person going to respond to your boundaries, it gives you a very telltale idea of the work that they're actually doing. If they're actually working on transforming themselves or just changing and modifying these little things. Because the fresh start that he promised all of a sudden disappears when you don't actually give him what he wants. Emotional manipulation aims to just confuse you, to put you in a place where you doubt yourself and you doubt your initial decision, to distance yourself. The whole goal is you're like, oh, it might not be that bad. Let me bring him back in. Let me connect once more. It's Christmas, so we might as well. It's a good time. It's the holiday. It's my birthday. It's his birthday. Anything like that. Stop doubting yourself and go back to the facts of what actually happened. Because you might be at a place where it's Valentine's Day and you get a message from your ex-partner. And he's expressing how much he misses you, how he regrets the past mistakes. The whole piece is trying to exploit you on that sentimental day to reignite the connection, to reignite the passion, to reignite, he might actually care. The problem is it's happening at the same time as he's probably talking to other people, but it's happening at the same time of it being a holiday. It's happening at the same time of it being this emotional piece where it's only to get you back. You will see this a lot of times where the toxic person in your life will be the most behave around certain holidays so they can look good to themselves and other people, and so they can go through that holiday while being with someone. And then it falls apart after that. Like, it's wild. Like, just think of it in the nature of like when I work with people and when I talk with people. Like, we will see people sign up. We will see people with appointments. We will see people that we coach. We will see that like slow down as you get to a holiday. Let's say Valentine's Day, slow down because all the narcissists are showing up like, oh, we're good, we're healed, we're everything. And people are like, yeah, I don't need an appointment now because he's actually doing better. And then typically like a week, 2 weeks after the holiday, boom, like it jumps back up because everybody starts to realize that they've been duped. Like, this is a consistent thing, and we've seen this consistently over the past couple of years in talking with over 2,000 clients of understanding, hey, this is a pattern. Like, we will see this happen, and it will happen every holiday because people start to believe and buy into the aspect that the other person has changed, that they've actually done something different, when in reality, they're only leveraging your sentiment. They're only leveraging your feelings over and over and over again. So, I need you to be careful about this. Is he trying to contact you around holidays? Is he trying to contact you around special events? Put some space, put some distance. Even if you're in a communication and you still have interaction. Hey, I appreciate it. We already have plans. Let's get together next week. Let's communicate about this the following week. Let's see what happens when you push back by setting up healthy boundaries that focus on you. If we can be of any help, please reach out for help. Go to rawmotivations.com. If we can be of assistance in your healing, in your journey. And if you haven't already, like, subscribe, share, give this to someone else to help them understand that there might be holidays coming up that they need to be careful about so they don't get sucked back in to the toxicity.